Across every continent, from the highest mountain peaks to the deepest river valleys, animals are locked in a relentless contest for survival. In these wild arenas, every moment is shaped by the struggle to endure, adapt, and thrive. This is the ultimate test of nature's design, a never-ending game where only the most resourceful, resilient, and cunning survive. In the Arctic, polar bears traverse endless fields of ice, their massive paws spreading their weight as they search for seals beneath the frozen surface. On the African savanna, lions prowl through tall grasses, their golden coats nearly invisible as they coordinate silent ambushes. Deep in the Amazon, the air hangs heavy with moisture as jaguars slip through tangled undergrowth, their rosetted fur dappled by shifting sunlight. Every day, animals must solve the puzzle of survival, seeking out scarce food, defending precious territory, and nurturing the next generation. Some forage tirelessly, noses to the ground, while others stand guard, ever watchful for lurking threats. These daily needs often erupt into breathtaking confrontations, swift, brutal, and decisive. Predators launch lightning-fast attacks while rivals clash in displays of raw power and determination. In this world, every advantage counts. Speed can mean the difference between life and death, as gazelles leap and twist to escape the world's fastest predators. Strength and stamina are tested in long pursuits and fierce battles, while intelligence and teamwork can turn the tide in the most desperate moments. These encounters are not random acts of violence, but the very engine of evolution. Each battle, each chase, each standoff is a test of adaptation, a process we know as survival of the fittest. Over countless generations, animals have evolved remarkable adaptations: camouflage, venom, armor, and even the use of tools. Each trait is a solution to a specific challenge, honed by the pressures of survival. Some animals wield brute strength, their bodies built for combat. Others are masters of speed, darting through their world with astonishing agility. Many rely on the power of the group, wolves hunting in coordinated packs, bison forming living fortresses to shield their young. Through these constant trials, only the most capable pass on their legacy. The lessons learned in the wild, how to hunt, hide, and survive, are passed from parent to offspring, shaping the future of each species. In this series, we will journey into the heart of these epic showdowns, moments where the stakes are nothing less than life itself. Our adventure will span continents and climates, from the lush rainforests to the windswept tundra, revealing the drama and beauty of animal survival. Witness the cunning of a leopard as it outmaneuvers a pride of lions, and the fierce unity of otters as they defend their home from a formidable reptilian threat. Discover the astonishing bravery of the honey badger, undeterred by venom or pain, and the raw, thunderous power of musk oxen as they defend their herd against all odds. Each story is a window into the extraordinary strategies animals use to survive in the world's harshest environments, revealing the resilience and ingenuity that define life itself. These battles and displays shape the very structure of the animal kingdom, determining who leads, who mates, and who survives. Every contest, every ritual, every mark left on the land decides who claims the right to feed, to breed, and to call a territory home. Though these struggles may seem fierce, they are the foundation of nature's balance, ensuring that every species finds its place in the intricate web of life. These interactions prevent any one species from overwhelming the rest, maintaining a delicate equilibrium where resources are fiercely contested, yet ultimately shared. Now, let us step into this wild arena, where every sunrise brings new challenges and every sunset marks another day survived. Our journey begins on the sun-drenched plains of Africa, where the drama of life and death unfolds in its purest form. On the vast, sun-drenched plains of Africa, every day is a relentless contest for survival. Here, the struggle for a single meal can spark a dramatic chain of events, as predators and scavengers alike compete for their share of the savanna's bounty. The daytime belongs to the cheetah, the fastest land animal on Earth. With keen eyes scanning the horizon, it stalks the grasslands, relying on stealth and explosive speed to close the distance to its prey. Today, a coalition of cheetahs, siblings working together, has just brought down a young antelope after a breathtaking chase. Their sides heave with exhaustion, but there's no time to rest. Built for speed rather than strength, cheetahs can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds, their slender bodies and long tails perfectly adapted for balance and agility. They hunt under the blazing sun, timing their attacks to avoid the larger, more powerful predators that dominate the night. But even in daylight, danger is never far away. Cheetahs must devour their meal at lightning speed, constantly glancing over their shoulders. Their lightweight frames are no match for the brute force of other carnivores. The scent of fresh blood drifts on the wind, drawing the attention of opportunists, vultures circling above, jackals slinking through the grass, and, most threatening of all, rival big cats. Suddenly, a new challenger emerges from the shadows, a leopard, silent and powerful, its golden coat dappled with rosettes. The cheetahs freeze, knowing they are outmatched. The leopard is a master of stealth and strength, its muscular build allowing it to overpower most competitors. Unlike the cheetah, it is both a skilled hunter and a formidable fighter. With a low growl, the leopard lunges, scattering the cheetahs. It claims the 40-pound antelope, asserting its dominance with a show of raw power. But even the leopard is not safe. It pauses, muscles tense, scanning the savanna for new threats. In this ecosystem, every meal is a prize to be stolen. The leopard's acute senses detect a deeper rumble, a warning that something even more dangerous is approaching. Its ears pick up the low, resonant calls of lions. A pride is on the move, their presence announced by the heavy thud of paws and the rustle of tall grass. The leopard knows it must act quickly. If the lions arrive, it will lose everything. Instinct and experience guide its next move. Its survival depends not just on strength, but on cunning and agility. The leopard prepares for a feat few animals can match. With a powerful surge from its hind legs, the leopard hoists the heavy antelope in its jaws, ready to escape vertically. In a display of extraordinary strength, it climbs a nearby tree, dragging the carcass up into the safety of the branches, far from the reach of ground-bound rivals. A leopard can leap 10 feet straight up even while carrying prey that outweighs it. This unique ability makes it one of the savanna's most resourceful hunters. From its lofty perch, the leopard watches as a lioness, twice its size and brimming with power, arrives below, drawn by the scent of fresh meat. The lioness attempts to climb, but her massive weight and lack of agility make the ascent impossible. She can only swipe at the air, frustrated and hungry. Soon, a male lion joins her, his mane bristling. Even he, the king of beasts, is forced to watch helplessly as the leopard guards its prize overhead. The leopard remains motionless, every muscle coiled, its gaze never leaving the lions below. Patience is its ally in this high-stakes standoff. The lions, unable to reach the meal, eventually settle for watching, their frustration evident in every flick of their tails. After a tense wait, a distant commotion catches their attention. Sensing another opportunity, the lions abandon the tree and melt back into the golden grass. The leopard seizes its chance, descending the tree with practiced ease. It slips silently into the tall grass, vanishing from sight with its hard-won meal. Its unique climbing skills and sharp instincts have allowed it to outmaneuver even the most powerful predators of the savanna. In this never-ending contest for food, it is not always the strongest who triumph. On the African plains, victory belongs to those who combine speed, strength, intelligence, and adaptability, each animal playing its part in the epic drama of survival. In the vast, frozen expanse of the Arctic, where temperatures can plunge to -40 degrees and the wind sculpts the snow into endless drifts, the polar bear stands as the undisputed apex predator of the land. These magnificent animals are marvels of adaptation, with dense, water-repellent fur and a thick layer of insulating fat that shields them from the brutal cold. Their survival is intricately tied to the shifting sea ice, which serves as both a hunting ground and a highway, allowing them to stalk seals, their primary prey, at breathing holes and cracks in the ice. With an extraordinary sense of smell, a polar bear can detect the scent of a seal nearly a kilometre away, even beneath thick layers of snow and ice. Yet, as global temperatures rise, the sea ice retreats earlier each spring, fragmenting the bear's hunting grounds and shortening the critical window for feeding. Forced ashore for longer periods, polar bears endure months of fasting, relying on their fat reserves as they wait for the ice to return and the hunt to resume. During these lean, ice-free months, a remarkable behavior emerges among male polar bears, one that is as much about survival as it is about strength. They engage in ritualized sparring matches, a sophisticated form of play fighting that hones their physical prowess and social skills. Here, two dominant males, Rocky and Apollo, approach each other, not as enemies, but as rivals, testing their limits in a display of controlled power. These encounters are not about territory or food, but about perfecting the techniques and endurance needed for the fierce battles of the mating season. When the time comes to compete for mates, only the most skilled and resilient males will prevail, and these practice bouts are essential training for those high-stakes confrontations. Towering over most other land carnivores, a mature male can reach 10 feet in height when standing upright, and Apollo himself tips the scales at nearly 1,500 pounds. Their immense size is matched by raw muscle and bone-crushing strength, making them formidable opponents in any contest of power. Their jaws, equipped with massive canines and crushing molars, are designed to pierce the thick blubber and hide of seals, a testament to their role as specialized hunters. In the sparring ring, the bears rear up, towering over each other, pushing and grappling, their movements both powerful and measured. Apollo clamps his jaws around Rocky's neck, a move that, in a real fight, could be deadly, but here is executed with restraint, enough to assert dominance but not to injure. This is a contest of skill and stamina, a mutual agreement to test boundaries without crossing the line into true aggression. Each bear studies the other's tactics, learning to anticipate feints and counters, building a mental catalogue of strengths and weaknesses. The match unfolds across the open snow, with the two giants locked in a slow-motion ballet of power, balance, and endurance. They push and shove, each maneuvering for leverage, testing the limits of their own strength and the resolve of their opponent. Eventually, fatigue sets in. Rocky's breath comes in heavy clouds, his muscles trembling from exertion. Recognizing his limits, Rocky disengages, signaling the end of the bout with a slow retreat. He lowers his head in a gesture of submission, and Apollo, victorious, refrains from pressing the advantage, respecting the unspoken rules of the practice fight. These sparring sessions are vital for polar bears, forging the skills, strength, and social awareness needed to survive and thrive in one of the planet's most unforgiving environments, where only the fittest endure. In the heart of the Amazon, where the river carves its way through a labyrinth of emerald jungle, a silent tension hangs in the humid air. The water is dark, swirling with secrets, and every shadow could conceal a predator or prey. Here, the giant river otter reigns as one of the river's most charismatic and cunning residents. Sleek and muscular, these otters are built for speed and agility, their webbed feet slicing through the current with barely a ripple. Known as river wolves, they thrive on cooperation. Each family is a tight-knit unit, communicating constantly with a complex language of whistles, barks, and chirps. Their social bonds are as strong as their will to survive. When hunting, they move as one, herding fish into the shallows, outmaneuvering prey with synchronized bursts of speed. Every member has a role, from the vigilant sentinels to the daring hunters. Along a muddy riverbank, a family has carved out a den, its entrance hidden among tangled roots and overhanging vines. Inside, the air is thick with the scent of wet fur and the soft squeaks of pups, but danger is never far. Beneath the surface, a pair of unblinking eyes watches. The black Caiman, a master of stealth, glides silently, its armored body nearly invisible in the murky water. This is the largest of all alligator species, a 16-foot, 800-pound behemoth. Its jaws are lined with conical teeth, and its patience is legendary. The Caiman's massive form is both a shield and a weapon. Its thick, bony armor protects it from most attacks, while its tail can deliver bone-crushing blows. For the otters, this predator is a constant threat. Already, the Caiman has claimed 2 of the family's 5 pups, striking with ruthless efficiency during a moment of distraction. The loss is fresh, the pain raw. Yet the river offers no time for mourning. The Caiman returns, drawn by the scent of vulnerability. As the Caiman glides closer, the otter family springs into action. They do not scatter. Instead, they gather, forming a living shield around their den and remaining pups. Their tactics are bold. The adults position themselves between the Caiman and the den, their bodies tense, eyes locked on the advancing threat. They huddle close, emitting sharp alarm calls that ripple across the water, a signal to any nearby otters and a warning to the Caiman. Alone, an otter would stand no chance, but together they are formidable, each member ready to risk everything for the group. The family fans out, blocking the Caiman's advance, their movements perfectly synchronized. This is not just defense, it is strategy. With astonishing coordination, they begin a series of feints and distractions. Some otters dart close to the Caiman, then veer away, drawing its attention. Others circle behind, churning the water and splashing to obscure the Caiman's vision. The predator is surrounded, forced to turn and twist, unable to focus on a single target. The otters exploit every advantage the river offers, using submerged logs for cover, diving beneath the Caiman to attack from below, and vanishing into tangles of roots. The Caiman, built for ambush, is outmaneuvered in this chaotic ballet. Its confusion grows as the otters strike from all directions. In a daring move, the father otter dives deep, then rockets upward to clamp his jaws onto the Caiman's tail. His teeth are razor-sharp, designed to shear through fish and crustacean shells. 38 teeth sink into the Caiman's thick hide, targeting the vulnerable skin between armored scales. The Caiman thrashes, sending waves crashing against the bank. Its tail is a weapon, but also a weakness when seized by a determined opponent. The otters dodge with split-second timing, their bodies twisting through the water with acrobatic grace. A single bite from the Caiman could end a life in an instant. Its jaws slam shut with the force of 17 bowling balls capable of crushing bone and shell alike. But the otters are masters of evasion, slipping away at the last possible moment, always just out of reach. If the Caiman were to catch one, it could swallow it whole, but the otters' speed and teamwork keep them safe, for now. The otters use every feature of their environment, roots, branches, and shifting currents, to their advantage, weaving a web of confusion around the Caiman. Their relentless assault is a display of tactical brilliance. They lunge from multiple angles, never giving the Caiman a moment's rest. Each attack is brief but effective, nipping at the Caiman's flanks, then vanishing before it can retaliate. The struggle is fierce and unrelenting, lasting nearly an hour. The river becomes a battleground, the water churning with the energy of predator and prey, locked in a primal contest. The Caiman, though powerful, begins to tire. Its massive muscles fill with lactic acid, slowing its movements, while the otters remain nimble and alert. Sensing weakness, the otters press their advantage, focusing their attacks on the Caiman's vulnerable underbelly. The underbelly, soft and unarmored, is the Caiman's Achilles heel. The otters bite and claw, forcing the giant reptile into a desperate retreat. The Caiman's back and neck are shielded by bony plates, but its belly is exposed, a fatal flaw in this watery arena. Exhaustion overtakes the Caiman. Its strength ebbs away, and it can no longer defend itself against the relentless assault. Finally, the giant predator lies still, defeated by the combined might and intelligence of its much smaller adversaries. The otter family emerges victorious, their unity and tactics overcoming brute strength. They gather, grooming and comforting one another, a moment of triumph in the wild. The mighty Caiman, once the terror of the riverbank, has been brought down by the river wolves' relentless teamwork. Yet victory is bittersweet. The cost is high and the family's losses are keenly felt. As the sun sets and the river quiets, the otters search for their missing young, their calls echoing through the fading light. A reminder that in the Amazon, survival is never guaranteed and every victory comes at a price. Across the sun-baked plains of Africa, where the grass grows in tufts and the air shimmers with heat, a silent drama unfolds between two of the savanna's most remarkable predators. Here, survival is a daily contest, and every creature must rely on its unique adaptations to outwit danger. The black mamba, infamous for its speed and lethal venom, is a master of stealth and precision. Its slender, olive-grey body can stretch up to 14 feet, making it one of the longest venomous snakes in the world. Capable of moving at speeds up to 12 miles per hour, the black mamba is both a formidable hunter and a daunting adversary. Its venom, a potent neurotoxin, can paralyze and kill small mammals in minutes, and even larger animals are not safe from its bite. Opposite this reptilian menace stands the slender mongoose, a small carnivore weighing just over a pound. Despite its size, the mongoose is a bundle of energy, equipped with sharp senses and lightning-fast reflexes. When these two meet, the encounter is fraught with tension. The black mamba's reputation as a killer is well earned, but the mongoose is no ordinary prey. At first glance, the odds seem stacked against the mongoose. Its small frame appears no match for the mamba's size and venomous bite. Yet the mongoose is armed with a suite of evolutionary advantages. Its agility is unmatched, and its thick, coarse fur offers some protection against fangs. While not completely immune, the mongoose possesses a unique resistance to neurotoxins, thanks to specialized acetylcholine receptors that reduce the venom's effects. This adaptation allows it to survive bites that would be fatal to most animals of its size. The mongoose's greatest assets, however, are its speed and tactical intelligence. It uses the uneven terrain, rocks, tufts of grass and fallen branches, to its advantage, darting in and out of cover with astonishing quickness. When the black mamba strikes, the mongoose reacts in a fraction of a second, twisting its body to evade the deadly fangs. Timing is everything in this high-stakes contest. The mongoose can leap over 3 feet straight up, a feat that allows it to avoid even the fastest lunges. Each jump is calculated, conserving energy while keeping the snake guessing. The mongoose employs a strategy of attrition, circling the snake and provoking repeated strikes. Each missed attack drains the mamba's energy, gradually slowing its reactions. The confrontation becomes a blur of motion, a relentless dance of feints, dodges, and sudden bursts of speed. Both animals are locked in a contest of endurance and nerve. The mamba, sensing its adversary's persistence, launches a series of rapid strikes, jaws agape and venom ready. Each attack is a calculated risk, as the snake must expose itself to counterattack. The mongoose, fur bristling and muscles coiled, weaves and dodges with uncanny precision. Its focus never wavers from the snake's head, the source of both danger and opportunity. This is a battle of stamina and split-second decision-making. Each animal is acutely aware that a single mistake could be fatal. The mongoose waits, every muscle taut, for the briefest lapse in the snake's defenses. Patience is as vital as speed in this deadly contest. As the mamba tires, its strikes become less precise, its movements sluggish. The mongoose senses the shift, recognizing the moment when the balance of power tips in its favor. The mongoose's objective is clear. It aims for the vulnerable spot at the base of the snake's skull. where a single bite can end the battle instantly. After a tense standoff, the mongoose seizes its chance. With explosive speed, it lunges for the back of the mamba's head. The snake, drained from its relentless attacks, can no longer defend itself. Its body sags and its movements slow to a crawl. With a final, decisive leap, the mongoose clamps its powerful jaws onto the mamba's head, delivering a fatal bite that severs the snake's spine. The struggle ends in an instant. Victorious, the mongoose stands over its fallen adversary, a testament to the power of adaptation and instinct in the wild. This extraordinary encounter reveals that in the unforgiving world of the African savanna, survival is not determined by size or strength alone, but by a combination of speed, intelligence, and evolutionary ingenuity. The mongoose's triumph over the black mamba is a striking example of how nature's most unassuming creatures can overcome even the deadliest threats through courage, strategy, and the relentless will to survive. The African savanna stretches endlessly beneath a blazing sun, a living tapestry where countless species carve out their existence. Here, every day is a test of survival, and the relationships between animals are as complex as the landscape itself. Among the tall grasses, olive baboons and Thompson's gazelles are often seen sharing the same open plains. At first glance, their coexistence seems peaceful, almost harmonious. In reality, these two species have developed a subtle, mutualistic relationship. The baboons, ever watchful, benefit from the gazelle's keen senses, while the gazelles rely on the baboon's vigilance to detect threats. Baboons often climb rocks or perch in acacia trees, their sharp eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of danger. Their elevated vantage points make them natural sentinels. When a predator approaches, perhaps a lion slinking through the grass or a cheetah crouched in ambush, the baboons erupt in a chorus of harsh barks. This alarm ripples across the savanna, sending gazelles and other animals into a flurry of alertness. Yet, beneath this apparent alliance lies a tension born of necessity. The baboon's sharp gaze is not reserved solely for predators. Baboons are unpredictable neighbors. Their social structure is complex, and their behavior can shift from cooperative to aggressive in an instant. As omnivores, baboons have a remarkably varied diet. They forage for roots, fruits, seeds, and insects, but their opportunistic nature means they are always on the lookout for something more substantial. Their nimble fingers sift through the grass, turning over stones and digging for hidden morsels. Nothing edible escapes their notice. While plant matter and insects make up much of their diet, baboons are not above scavenging or hunting for meat when the opportunity arises. In fact, young Thompson's gazelles are a significant source of protein for baboons. Over 30% of the meat they consume comes from these vulnerable fawns. A troop of baboons may appear as guardians one moment, but within their ranks, a single individual can become a silent, deadly hunter. For a mother gazelle, every day is a battle to protect her fawn. She must remain vigilant, always aware of the shifting dangers that surround her. One morning, a solitary male baboon catches sight of a tiny fawn, barely visible in the tall grass. The baby's only defense is its stillness, hoping to remain unseen. The baboon moves with calculated patience, closing the distance with silent steps. Suddenly it lunges, its powerful limbs propelling it forward in a blur of motion. The fawn's mother, sensing the danger, explodes into action. She charges at the baboon, her body a blur of speed and determination. Lowering her head, she aims her sharp horns at the attacker, a weapon honed by generations of survival. With a burst of courage, she strikes the baboon, forcing it to release its grip on the fawn, if only for a moment. The baboon recoils, its cry echoing across the plain. For a fleeting instant, hope flickers. The mother stands over her trembling fawn, her body tense and ready to defend again. But the baboon, driven by hunger and instinct, is relentless. Its hands, almost human in their dexterity, clamp down with unyielding strength. Recovering quickly, it snatches the dazed fawn from beneath the mother's desperate defense, its resolve unbroken. The mother gazelle can only watch, her eyes wide with anguish, as the baboon delivers the fatal blow. The savannah is silent, but for the distant calls of other animals. In the aftermath, the mother stands alone, the weight of her loss heavy in the golden light. This is the reality of life here, where every victory is hard won, and every loss is deeply felt. The encounter is a stark reminder that alliances in the wild are fragile, and survival often demands difficult choices. For the baboon, the hunt ends in nourishment, a vital resource in a world where every meal counts. For the gazelle, it is a moment of heartbreak, a reminder of the constant struggle to protect the next generation. On the savannah, survival is never guaranteed, and every day brings new challenges and new stories of resilience. Across the wild landscapes of our planet, some animals have become living legends, not because of their size or strength, but because of their extraordinary ability to defy the odds stacked against them. The honey badger, for instance, may appear small and unassuming, but it has earned a reputation as one of the most fearless and tenacious creatures in the animal kingdom. Whether it's standing up to a lion on the African savanna or a wolverine challenging a wolf in the frozen north, these animals refuse to back down no matter the size or ferocity of their opponent. In one remarkable encounter, a single honey badger finds itself encircled by a group of young lions, each eager to prove their hunting skills. In another part of the world, an Arctic fox stands its ground against a group of snowy owls, refusing to yield its hard-won meal. For the lions, this is meant to be a training exercise, a chance to practice their predatory instincts on what seems like an easy target. For the fox, the harsh wind and swirling snow add another layer of challenge, but it remains undeterred. Neither the honey badger nor the fox is willing to surrender. Their defiance is written in every muscle, every glare. The honey badger, in particular, is not about to become anyone's practice kill. Instead of fleeing, the honey badger whirls to face its attackers, launching itself at the lions with astonishing ferocity. The Arctic fox, too, lunges at the owls, snapping at their talons to protect its prize. Growling and snarling, the honey badger charges at predators many times its size. The fox, though smaller than its adversaries, uses its agility and sharp teeth to keep them at bay. The lions, baffled by the honey badger's utter lack of fear, hesitate. The owls, unused to such resistance, pause in their assault. But the honey badger has a remarkable secret weapon. Its skin is not only thick and tough, but also incredibly loose, making it nearly impervious to bites and claws. The Arctic fox, meanwhile, relies on its dense fur and compact body to withstand the freezing winds and conserve precious heat. The honey badger's hide is so resilient that even sharp teeth and claws struggle to penetrate it. The fox's fur, layered and insulating, allows it to survive where few others can. More importantly, the honey badger's loose skin gives it a unique advantage. It can twist and turn even when caught, making it nearly impossible to pin down. The Arctic fox, nimble and quick, dodges attacks with split-second reflexes. When one of the young lions finally manages to clamp its jaws around the honey badger, the badger's secret is revealed. The honey badger twists inside its own skin, rotating nearly 180 degrees, and bites back with astonishing precision. The fox, too, spins away from danger, narrowly escaping the owl's grasp. Even while trapped in the lion's jaws, the honey badger manages to sink its sharp teeth into the lion's sensitive nose, forcing it to release its grip. The fox, in a desperate move, bites at the owl's wing, sending it flapping away in pain. The lion yelps in pain and surprise, immediately letting go. The owl, startled and hurt, retreats into the snowy distance. The honey badger has turned the tables on its attacker, displaying a stunning mastery of defensive tactics. The fox, too, stands victorious, its meal secured for another day. The young lions, completely baffled, have learned a hard lesson about underestimating their prey. They have never encountered such resilience and cunning before. The owls, too, are left in awe of the fox's determination. Every time the predators try to attack, These small but fierce animals fight back with unmatched aggression and resourcefulness. The honey badger's combination of ferocity and unique anatomy makes it an almost impossible target. The Arctic fox's adaptability and quick thinking allow it to survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Despite being outnumbered and outsized, the honey badger's relentless defense and surprising counterattacks overwhelm the inexperienced lions. The fox, though constantly threatened, uses its speed and wit to evade danger time and again. Eventually, the predators give up and walk away, leaving these remarkable survivors alone in their respective domains. In the end, these animals prove that courage, adaptability, and ingenious defenses can overcome even the most daunting challenges nature has to offer. In the wild, it's not always the biggest or the strongest who survive. It's those who can truly defy the odds. In the heart of the Arctic tundra, where the wind howls relentlessly and the mercury plunges to -50 degrees, a remarkable survivor endures. Here, in a world sculpted by ice and snow, the musk ox stands as a living relic of the Ice Age, its lineage stretching back to the time of mammoths and saber-toothed cats. The musk ox is a master of survival, perfectly adapted to the harshest climate on Earth. Its dense, two-layered coat traps precious warmth with a soft underwool called kiviot, one of the warmest natural fibers known, shielding it from the bitter cold. Weighing up to 800 pounds, the musk ox's massive frame is built for endurance. Its broad hooves act like snowshoes, distributing weight and allowing it to traverse deep drifts in search of food. Musk oxen are highly social, living in tight-knit herds that provide warmth and protection. In the spring, as the sun lingers longer on the horizon, the herd's tranquility is shattered by a surge of primal energy, mating season. Within the herd, a dominant old bull presides, but his reign is never guaranteed. Younger, ambitious males challenge him, driven by instinct and the promise of passing on their genes. The rivals engage in a ritual as ancient as their species. They size each other up, muscles tensed, eyes locked in a silent battle of wills. With deliberate steps, they back away, building anticipation. The air crackles with tension as they prepare to unleash their full power. Suddenly, they charge, 25 miles per hour of raw muscle and bone, colliding with a thunderous impact that reverberates across the tundra, sending snow flying in all directions. The force is staggering, yet both animals are engineered for this violence. Their skulls are reinforced, absorbing the shock and protecting their brains from injury. Their foreheads act as natural battering rams, with a thick plate of bone and a cushion of connective tissue that dissipates the energy of each blow. This anatomical armor is a marvel of evolution, allowing the muskox to endure repeated collisions that would cripple most other creatures. Again and again the rivals separate and charge, each impact a test of strength, stamina, and willpower. With every clash, exhaustion sets in. Steam rises from their nostrils, and their breath hangs in the frigid air as they push their bodies to the limit. Eventually, the younger challenger falters, his vision blurred and his legs unsteady, a moment of vulnerability in this unforgiving contest. He turns sideways, exposing his unprotected flank, a critical error that could prove fatal. In a split second, the old bull lunges, horns poised for a decisive strike, but the challenger recovers, spinning to face his rival and narrowly avoiding disaster. The battle resumes, but the challenger's spirit is broken. His charges are hesitant, his resolve fading with each encounter. Instinct tells him the truth. He cannot overcome the old bull's experience and strength. At last he lowers his head in submission and retreats, leaving the victor to reclaim his place at the heart of the herd. The old bull stands tall, his dominance reaffirmed. The herd gathers around him, their unity restored by the outcome of this ancient trial. Through these fierce battles and their remarkable adaptations, musk oxen have survived for millennia, their bloodlines strengthened by the relentless demands of the Arctic. In this frozen wilderness, only the most resilient endure, ensuring the legacy of the mighty musk ox continues for generations yet to come. Across the vast African savanna, a cheetah explodes into motion, its slender body built for speed, every muscle and tendon working in perfect harmony. Nearby, a leopard moves with silent precision, its rosette-patterned coat blending seamlessly into the dappled shade, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. These are not isolated events, but daily realities in a world where survival is never guaranteed. In the frozen expanse of the Arctic, a polar bear traverses the shifting ice, its massive paws distributing weight to avoid breaking through. Here, every step is a calculated risk as the bear searches for seals beneath the snow. The Arctic fox, nimble and opportunistic, follows in the bear's wake, hoping to scavenge leftovers while walruses form defensive walls to protect their young from the relentless predator. On the plains, a leopard perches high in a tree, surveying the land for threats and opportunities. Below, a lion basks in the sun, conserving energy for the next hunt. Hyenas gather in packs, their social intelligence allowing them to outmaneuver larger predators, while wild dogs rely on teamwork and endurance to bring down prey many times their size. In the undergrowth, a mongoose faces a deadly cobra, its lightning reflexes and thick fur providing a crucial edge. Meerkats stand sentinel, scanning for danger, while warthogs fiercely defend their burrows from intruders, each animal adapting unique strategies to survive. Moments of peace are fleeting. Antelope herds graze with one eye always watching for movement, their survival dependent on constant vigilance. Every animal's senses are finely tuned, every interaction shaped by the ever-present threat of predation. The hunt is relentless. An owl glides silently through the night, its acute hearing pinpointing a mouse beneath the snow. At the riverbank, a crocodile waits motionless, jaws ready to snap shut on the unwary. Each predator has evolved specialized tools, speed, stealth, strength, or cunning to secure a meal. The drive to protect family is universal. Lionesses form coalitions to defend their cubs. Elephants encircle calves with their massive bodies. Gorillas shield their young from danger. And penguins huddle together to shield chicks from the bitter cold. Parental care is as diverse as the animal kingdom itself. Defending a home is a matter of life and death. Beavers engineer lodges to withstand floods and predators. Foxes repair burrows after storms. And birds reinforce nests with thorns and mud, each structure a testament to ingenuity and persistence. The next generation is the future. Birds tirelessly feed their chicks, sea turtle hatchlings dash for the safety of the ocean, and kangaroos nurture joeys in their pouches. Every act of care increases the odds of survival in a world full of hazards. Each animal is a marvel of adaptation. The cheetah's flexible spine and powerful limbs deliver unmatched acceleration. The polar bear's insulating fur and fat allow it to swim for miles in icy waters. The eagle's talons grip with lethal force, and the shark's streamlined body glides effortlessly through the sea. Play is preparation. Young polar bears spar on the ice, wolf pups wrestle in the den, and lion cubs practice hunting skills, all honing the abilities they will need to survive as adults. Ingenious defenses abound. The honey badger's loose skin allows it to twist free from attackers, the armadillo curls into an armored ball, and the pangolin's scales repel even the most determined predators. Teamwork is a force multiplier. Giant river otters coordinate to outwit fish. Dolphins corral schools into tight balls, and wolves execute complex chases, proving that unity can overcome even the most formidable adversaries. Dominance is earned through contest. Musk oxen and bighorn sheep engage in brutal head-butting duels, while stags lock antlers in displays of strength, ensuring that only the fittest lead and breed. Adaptations are as varied as the challenges faced. Claws, teeth, camouflage, and color-changing skin are just a few of the remarkable tools animals wield in the fight for life. Over millions of years, these behaviors and traits have been honed by relentless competition. Insects duel for mates, frogs wrestle for territory, and every contest shapes the future of the species. These struggles maintain the balance of entire ecosystems. On the savanna, wildebeest migrations feed predators and fertilize the land. In coral reefs and rainforests, countless species interact in a delicate web, each playing a vital role. Predators regulate prey populations, preventing overgrazing and ensuring resources are not depleted. Wolves keep deer herds healthy. Orcas cull the weak from seal colonies, and eagles target only the most vulnerable fish. The result is a landscape in balance, lush grasslands after the rains, forests alive with birdsong, and river deltas teeming with life. Every animal, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, contributes to this equilibrium. Competition for territory is fierce. Big cats mark boundaries with scent, birds sing to stake their claim, and countless creatures patrol their domains, ensuring resources are distributed and populations remain stable. The quest for mates drives spectacular displays and intense battles. Stags clash antlers, birds flaunt vibrant plumage, frogs croak in unison, and peacocks fan their feathers, all to ensure that only the strongest and most attractive genes are passed on. Every chase is a test of speed and strategy. A cheetah's explosive sprint, a falcon's precision dive, a lizard's desperate dash, all are moments where life hangs in the balance. Narrow escapes are common. An antelope leaps a river to evade a lion, a fish darts from an otter's jaws, and every close call is a testament to the razor-thin margin between life and death. The animal kingdom is a stage for endless drama. From insects locked in combat to snakes wrestling for dominance, every confrontation is a story of survival, adaptation, and resilience. Resilience is everywhere. Camels endure scorching deserts, penguins brave Antarctic blizzards, and countless creatures overcome the harshest environments through sheer determination and evolutionary brilliance. Every adaptation, every behavior is a response to the pressures of the environment. Acute senses, specialized limbs, and complex social structures are all products of the unending fight for life. The result is a world of breathtaking diversity. Rainforests layered with life, savannas alive with movement, and oceans swirling with creatures, all interconnected in a complex web that sustains the planet. The struggle for survival is relentless and universal. Bats swarm for fruit in the night, crabs battle for territory on the shore, and everywhere the contest for resources shapes the fate of individuals and species alike. As the sun rises over the plains and migrations begin anew, the timeless drama continues. Wildebeest brave crocodile-infested rivers, monarch butterflies journey thousands of miles, and the cycle of life and death repeats with every passing season. In the end, only the most adaptable, the most resourceful, and the most resilient will thrive. The unending fight for life is the engine of evolution, forever ensuring the survival of the fittest in the ever-changing theatre of the natural world. Deep within the emerald labyrinth of the Amazon rainforest, the battle for survival takes to the treetops. Here, sunlight filters through a dense tapestry of leaves, illuminating a stage unlike any other, the high canopy, where the air is thick with the calls of unseen creatures. A howler monkey, nimble and alert, navigates the tangled branches in search of tender leaves. Its family group calls out in a chorus, the sound echoing for miles. But above, a silent shadow glides through the trees. The harpy eagle, apex predator of the canopy, scans the world below with piercing eyes. Its talons, as long as a grizzly bear's claws, are perfectly adapted for seizing prey from the dense foliage. The monkey senses danger, a hush in the wind, a flicker of movement high above. Instantly, alarm calls ring out. The troop scatters, leaping from branch to branch, tails streaming behind them. But the harpy eagle is relentless. With a burst of power, it dives, wings folding as it threads the narrow gaps between branches with astonishing agility. A chase erupts in the green maze. The howler monkey darts for cover, weaving through hanging vines. The eagle closes in, talons outstretched. In a split-second maneuver, the monkey leaps to a slender branch, swaying wildly under its weight. The eagle lands with a thunderous snap, but the branch bends, denying it a firm grip. For a heartbeat, predator and prey lock eyes, each the product of millions of years of evolution, each fighting for a future. The monkey launches itself again, vanishing into the dense foliage. The harpy eagle, undeterred, takes flight, vanishing into the misty heights. This time the howler monkey survives. But in the canopy, every day brings a new contest, a new chapter in the age-old struggle for survival. Here, among the ancient giants of the forest, the clash between hunter and hunted shapes the fate of both. The canopy remains a battlefield, one where silence and speed, strength and cunning are the keys to life itself. As darkness blankets the African savanna, a new drama unfolds beneath the ghostly glow of the moon. In these quiet hours, the world belongs to the stealthiest hunters and the most ingenious survivors. A pangolin, cloaked in armor of overlapping scales, ambles through the undergrowth. Its tiny claws rake the earth, searching for the scent of ants and termites. Every movement is cautious, every step deliberate. The night air is thick with tension, punctuated only by the distant calls of nocturnal birds. Suddenly, a pair of amber eyes flicker in the shadows. A leopard, the master of silent pursuit, emerges from the darkness. Muscles ripple beneath its spotted coat as it stalks closer, barely making a sound. The pangolin pauses, sensing the shift in the air. Its only defense is its remarkable suit of scales, nature's answer to the big cat's lethal claws. The leopard pounces, lightning quick, but the pangolin reacts with equal speed. Curling into a near-perfect ball, it tucks its vulnerable head and belly beneath a fortress of keratin. The leopard bats and claws at the armored sphere, frustration mounting as its efforts are met with nothing but an impenetrable shield. For long, tense minutes, the standoff continues. The leopard circles, probing for weakness, but the pangolin remains resolute, silent and still. At last, the big cat concedes, slinking away in search of easier prey. When the coast is clear, the pangolin slowly uncurls and resumes its quiet journey through the night. In the endless contest between predator and prey, sometimes survival is not about strength or speed, but about patience and the wisdom to wait out the storm. Beneath the stars, in the heart of the wild, the pangolin lives to see another dawn, its armor tested, its spirit unbroken. As the first blush of dawn spreads across the African plains, the river becomes a boundary between life and death. On one muddy bank, a herd of wildebeest gathers, restless and wary. They know the crossing is perilous, but the promise of fresh grass on the far side is irresistible. Among them, a young calf stands at the water's edge, eyes wide with uncertainty. Its mother nudges it forward, but every instinct screams caution. Beneath the surface, unseen but ever present, a Nile crocodile lies in wait. Its ancient eyes break the waterline, unblinking and patient. The river is its domain, a place where the bold and the desperate meet their fate. The calf steps in, legs trembling as the current tugs at its hooves. The herd surges forward, a living wave of bodies churning up mud and foam. Suddenly the water erupts in a spray of violence. The crocodile strikes with explosive power, jaws snapping shut around the calf's leg. Panic ripples through the herd as they scatter, hooves thrashing and splashing in frantic escape. The mother circles back, desperate, her horns lowered in a futile display of defiance, but the calf is not yet lost. Instinct and adrenaline fuel a desperate struggle. It kicks and twists. Fighting for every precious second, the crocodile's grip is relentless, but the river's chaos works in the calf's favor. A sudden surge from the herd shifts the water, and the crocodile loses its hold for a heartbeat. The calf seizes the moment, scrambling free and lurching toward the far bank. Exhausted and trembling, it collapses on solid ground, its mother by its side. The crocodile sinks back beneath the surface, vanishing as silently as it appeared, one more shadow in the eternal drama of survival. At the water's edge, every crossing is a gamble, every life a story of courage and chance, and for one wildebeest calf, the new day brings the gift of survival. In the golden haze of late afternoon, the savannah transforms into a land of long shadows and whispered danger. Hidden among the tall grasses, a cheetah mother surveys her surroundings with vigilant eyes. Her 3 cubs, barely old enough to hunt, tumble and play nearby, oblivious to the risks that lurk just beyond their makeshift den. Suddenly, the wind shifts. A lone hyena, drawn by the faint scent of recent kills and the promise of easy prey, slinks into view. Its movements are deliberate, its eyes fixed on the vulnerable cubs. The air crackles with tension as the cheetah mother stiffens, her muscles coiled and ready. The cubs freeze, sensing the change in their mother's posture. Instinct tells them to hide, but curiosity anchors them in place. The hyena closes the distance with unsettling confidence, its jaws parting in a silent snarl. With a blur of spotted fur, the cheetah mother launches herself between the intruder and her young. She hisses, tail lashing, her body language a clear warning. The hyena circles, gauging her resolve, but hunger and persistence drive it forward. A tense standoff ensues, mother and hyena locked in a battle of wills. The cubs, pressed flat against the earth, watch with wide, fearful eyes. The cheetah mother lunges, swiping with unsheathed claws, forcing the hyena to retreat a step. But the scavenger is undeterred, darting in and out, testing for weakness. Minutes stretch into eternity. At last, the cheetah's determination prevails. With one final charge, she drives the hyena back into the undergrowth. The threat retreats, melting into the gathering dusk. The cubs emerge, trembling but safe. Their mother's sides heave with exhaustion, but her gaze is gentle as she nuzzles her young. In the savannah's endless contest, victory is often measured not in conquest, but in survival. As darkness falls, the cheetah family huddles close, the grass once again concealing their fragile hope for another day. In the misty stillness of the marshlands, a world both tranquil and treacherous unfolds beneath the swaying reeds. Here, patience is the greatest weapon, and silence the deadliest disguise. A great egret stands motionless in the shallow water, its white plumage stark against the green gloom. With practiced precision, it scans the rippling surface, every muscle poised for a sudden strike. Below, hidden among the tangled roots and drifting algae, a water snake glides unseen. Its slender body weaves effortlessly through the murk, eyes locked onto the egret's slender legs, an opportunity as much as a threat. Both hunter and hunted, the snake bides its time, the marsh's hush concealing its approach. A sudden flutter, the egret's gaze sharpens, its dagger-like beak aimed at a flicker of movement below. In a flash it lunges, plunging its bill into the water, but the snake is quicker than it seems, twisting away with sinuous grace. The egret snatches only empty water, droplets scattering like tiny diamonds in the morning sun. Undeterred, the snake coils upward, launching itself in a desperate strike toward the egret's vulnerable leg. For a split second, predator and prey are locked in a silent duel, each fighting for their next breath. The egret leaps back, wings unfurling in a burst of white, the snake narrowly missing by mere inches. The marsh falls silent once more, ripples fading into stillness. The egret, shaken but unharmed, resumes its vigil, wary now of the dangers lurking below. The water snake slips away, disappearing into the reeds, its hunger unsatisfied but its life preserved. In the marshland, survival is written in moments, each encounter a delicate balance between risk and reward.